Hey guys, what is going on? Hooksley here, and today we got another tier list video. We're doing a Dead by Daylight tier list today. I know we did an Outlast tier list a little bit ago, but today we're doing something a little different. Today we're going to be ranking every single chapter on Dead by Daylight history. And we do have our categories here, okay? We got top 5, in my opinion, the top 5 chapters in the game. We got A tier, B tier, C tier, D tier. And then at the very bottom, we got the so bad tier that honestly they should not exist. There are a couple that I have that opinion on. And yeah, we're going to be ranking everything. And when I mean everything, I mean everything, man. Because like I said, there are some duds. Definitely that this game definitely has. And I do wish those chapters were a little bit better. But without further ado, if you guys wouldn't mind dropping a like on the video and subscribing to the channel for more Hooksley content. We play Dead by Daylight and the Outlast Trials and other horror games on the channel. Be sure to go check us out on Twitch. The link will be down below. And without further ado, let's get it started, man. So my main thing about ranking these is definitely going to be how much the chapter added / improved the game. Did it add anything unique, anything cool? Was it just stale? Was there nothing really added to improve the game at all? Just stuff like that. So that's what we're going to be ranking today. And we're going to go in order from release. So we're going to start off with The Last Breath. This chapter introduced the nurse, and it introduced the asylum map that came with her. Crotus Pen Asylum. Now, honestly, I'm going to have to put this in a tier because in the beginning of Dead by Daylight's, I guess, run, this was huge. This was a cool chapter that they added. Obviously, the killer was problematic because she did break the game. But it added stuff to the game. It added a pretty okay map. It was a cool map at the time. The killer was cool at the time. Fan favorite by a lot of people. Was it problematic? Yes. She did get nerfed over time, though. Is she still the strongest killer in the game? Yeah. But overall, she's a cool killer, cool design. She does break the game, which is why I can't really put her top 5. Honestly, I wouldn't mind moving her down to B. I would say she's like low A for now, though. Halloween. In my opinion, this is a top 5 chapter in the game. It's the chapter that put Dead by Daylight on the map. Michael Myers, super big IP that Dead by Daylight could have gotten, and it pretty much elevated Dead by Daylight to the next level. It made them a contender for, like, whenever somebody saw Dead by Daylight, people would be like, oh my god, wait, Michael Myers is in that game. They mean business. I wonder what else they could get into this game. It added Myers, who's a pretty cool killer overall. He was weak, obviously, on launch, but he does have good add-ons. The map is cool, in my opinion. The map originally was really unbalanced, and then obviously they reworked it. It was still a little unbalanced. And then as soon as it left the game, I thought it was in a pretty balanced state. I really wish it would come back in the future. Obviously, they're making their own Halloween spin-off game, so that's why I can't really come back. But overall, it's a really sick chapter. And Laurie Strode brought Decisive Strike. I know I hate the perk, but it is innovative. And obviously, it did get nerfed over time, which is fine. I think it's fine now as a perk. But overall, there was a lot of content brought into this. And it was a very big IP for the time. So I'm gonna have to put a top 5. Flesh and Mud. Okay. In my opinion, I think this is not a good chapter. So this is obviously, I know there are like 1 or 2 Hag players out there, but Hag is just not a fun killer to play or to fight, in my opinion. I think the realm that she came with, Backwater Swamp, it came with Grim Pantry, it came with whatever the tugboat one is called. Those are just 2 not fun maps to play at all. And I really kind of wish they either got reworked or removed from the game because, again, they're just not fun to play. Obviously, it did add a lot of content to the game, which is why I'm not going to add it to so bad tier. I just think the content that it came with is just not that great. I mean, I could probably put it C tier, but I'll probably move it down to D once we rank more. Because it did add 2 realms. Or not 2 realms, it added 2 maps. We got 2 maps out of this, and we got I'm pretty sure we got 2 maps out of this. I'm pretty sure they were added at the same time. Maybe I'm wrong about that. Correct me in the comments if I'm wrong about that. But we did get those 2, and then we got her. And then obviously we got her perks as well. She's one of the only killers in the game, I'm pretty sure, with 3 hex perks, which is cool. And then we got a survivor out of it too. I'm pretty sure Ace also came out with this chapter. So yeah, maybe I will put it C tier. Overall, decent content. Bill. Okay, this is a tough one. And I'm gonna have to... It's gonna pain me. I love Left 4 Dead. I love Left 4 Dead 2. But when it comes from a content standpoint, I'm gonna be nice. I'm gonna put it C. It would go D. As a chapter, it just doesn't really have a lot. The only reason I'm putting it C is because Bill is from an amazing franchise, Left 4 Dead. Amazing franchise. It did come with skins for the other survivors like Alice, you know, Francis. Those characters got skins for like Dwight, Meg, and other characters, so that's definitely on the chill side. It did come with a Noam Chomsky event, where it's like a little charm you could have gotten for a certain amount of time. I wish I would have gotten it. I didn't play that event at the time, unfortunately. But overall, because it came from a super cool IP, I definitely have to put it C tier. It didn't come with any special infected or anything, because it was only a survivor-only chapter, because of obviously licensing issues with Valve. But that's probably... we'll save that for another video. But let's move on. Spark of Madness. I think Spark of Madness is a B tier chapter. I think it is definitely... I would put this at the bottom of B, though. It definitely is a better chapter than Flesh and Mud. It came with Larry's Memorial Institute. I'm pretty sure one of the first indoor maps ever in the game. Is the map fun to play on? Not really. But it is cool, just design-wise. The Doctor is a cool killer, unique power, and Feng Min is a pretty iconic survivor. With all of those coming in, I definitely do think that was a great addition to the game as an original chapter, and I definitely would keep it there. Lullaby for the Dark. This is an A tier chapter. This is definitely above Nurse. This came with one of the most popular killers in Dead by Daylight history. Play-wise, like everything-wise, I guess. Overall, super cool killer. Obviously, it came with the Red Forest, which is not my favorite realm. But I can't diss it. It definitely is a cool realm as an aspect. But I can't deny it came with a Survivor, it came with Huntress. It's just an overall good early addition to the game. And I really have no flaws with it. There weren't really any flaws with this chapter. Leatherface. Now, if you've been around the channel for a while, you know I am a I am a Bubba player. I do love Bubba. I love playing him. I have to put a D tier though, man. I can't be biased in this tier list. If I was biased, it would go higher, but the chapter was bad. It was bad. It really was not that good. I'm pretty sure they added a new variant though that came out with Leatherface. Correct me if I'm wrong. I'm pretty sure Thompson House came out with Leatherface. But overall, the chapter was just a disaster. Bubba was super weak on release. Very bad. He had to get buffed up numerous amount of times. And if you think about it, or if you go into, I guess, the devlogs on what they said about this chapter, they said they were on a time crunch, and they were trying to make him somewhat different from Hillbilly. Because the only reason Hillbilly is in the game is because they wanted Leatherface originally, but obviously they couldn't get the license for it yet. And so they added Leatherface, and he's kind of just a clone of Hillbilly in a way. But I don't really think that is, because I think they definitely did make him unique. But because of the just bad launch and the time restraint, and him not really coming with his own map, his own terror radius, and him being super weak on launch, I'm gonna have to put him D tier. Because it's just, yeah, I don't know. He's just, that chapter was just not really that great. I say the same thing about the Nightmare on Elm Street. I would probably put the Nightmare on Elm Street above this. And the reason why is because it did come with a map and a survivor. So I gotta give him credit for that. Leatherface did not come with that. But obviously Batum, which is one of the worst maps in the game. So I'm not gonna give him credit for that. But it did come with its own map. It came with Freddy, who was pretty weak on release, if I remember correctly. And it came with Quentin. Obviously Quentin now I mean, he's always been a pretty respectable survivor. I'm glad they changed his face model. Um, and overall, the perks on both sides were pretty decent. Nothing really turbo disgusting, turbo broken. I mean, obviously there was a time where Freddy was disgusting, like his add-ons were very gross, but those got changed over time with his previous rework, so they weren't that bad at all. Next chapter. The Saw chapter. Hot take. I'm gonna put this in A tier. This is the chapter that very pushed me. It pushed me a lot to playing this game and wanting to stream this game. I'm a big fan of Saw. When I heard that they were coming to Dead by Daylight, when I saw the trailer, I thought it was sick. Obviously, Pig had a lot of problems on release. If I remember correctly, Pig was very strong on release. She's been nerfed over time, but I think now she's getting back up to being buffed. But when it comes to like content-wise, I definitely do think this chapter added a lot of content to the game. Pig is an awesome addition as a killer. Gideon's meat plant, no matter how problematic it is for killers, because of the pallet density, it is still a cool map by design, and there's a lot of cool references on it. And I think Detective Tap is a very underrated survivor that doesn't get played enough, which is sad, but that's just the hard truth. I think the perks on both sides are pretty fun and unique. And yeah, overall it's an amazing chapter. It's an amazing IP that they added and they treated it with care. So I gotta give them respect for it. The Clown. Alright, the Clown's gonna go B tier. This is our first edition of a clown killer, which is cool. I have a very soft spot for like carnival themed stuff, clown themed stuff. And when I saw Clown added to the game, I was like, wow, wait, this map's gonna be sick. But the map is not that cool. In my opinion, the only cool thing about the map is Maurice. When you're playing killer, the map is not that fun. Because I kind of wish the carnival was bigger in the map itself. I think that would have been cool. But in my opinion, I don't think Clown is that fun to play. I also don't think he's that fun to face, obviously, judging by what the community also says about him. But he is a clown killer, and I do think he's kind of cool. Kate Denson is an amazing survivor that they added for this chapter. She has a lot of cool, unique perks. And overall, content-wise, I do think it's better than Spark of Madness and everything below it. But I do not think it is better than everything above that, in my opinion. Honestly, I do think it is better than the Nurse chapter. I'm going to move Nurse to B. And I'm going to move that up there. Spirit. I'm pretty sure this is Shattered Remains or whatever it's called. Ooh, Spirit chapter. Loki, I'm gonna give this A tier, and I'm gonna give Clown B tier. I think Spirit is a super cool survivor, has her own unique perks. I think a killer. I think Adam is a super cool survivor, has his own set of unique perks, and this is the first time we got introduced to the Yamaoka estate, which is a pretty solid and respectable realm. Overall, content-wise, good chapter. So I gotta put it A tier. It added a good amount to the game. Oh god. Darkness Among Us, the Legion chapter. Ooh, low-key, that's gonna go B. And the reason I say B is because Legion was very problematic on release. That character was disgusting. Ormond is a pretty respectable realm. Pretty good for a lot of killers. And I'm pretty sure they added Jeff with this chapter. Jeff is a pretty solid, respectable survivor as well. So, overall, decent content added to the game. Demise of the Faithful. Oof. Yeah, this is a pretty rough chapter. Low-key, I'm gonna give Demise of the Faithful... I'm gonna give it B tier as well. The reason I say B tier is because it didn't really add a ton to the game. The Plague as a killer, pretty annoying, especially if you know what you're doing. She came with one of the most popular killer perks, I'm pretty sure, in Dead by Daylight history. Maybe not anymore, but she came with Corrupt Intervention. I remember every killer was using that on release because, you know, it's such a good perk. But the killer is very strong. Killer is unique, though. I gotta give him credit for that. Definitely a unique killer. Temple Purgation was a add-on to the Red Forest, which is decent, but overall content-wise, I do definitely think it added content to the game. I don't think it innovated anything though, so that's why I'm gonna have to put it there for now. Ash vs Evil Dead. Respectfully, I'm not trying not to be mean, but like, I'm gonna have to put that D tier. It was okay. I don't know. There was nothing really. It added a very. You know what? I'm gonna put it low. I'm gonna put it low D. It added a very cool survivor. It added Ash Williams from Evil Dead. Very cool survivor. Very iconic in the horror world. But it definitely just it also added one of the most problematic perks in all of Dead by Daylight history. It added Medal of Man. If any old OG Dead by Daylight veterans remember that, that perk was completely broken back in its day. But yeah, I'm gonna have to put it there because they didn't really add much content into the game. It's a solo survivor chapter. Most solo survivor chapters, unless if they're super cool, are gonna be C or less on this tier list because they didn't really add a lot to the game, in my humble opinion. Oh, so I'm gonna put Spark of Madness in C, so we can even stuff out. The Ghost Face. Okay, hot take. This is tough. I think the Ghostface chapter is definitely. I'm gonna put it here, and the reason I put it there, I'm gonna put it above there too. I don't think it's better than Spark of Madness when it comes to content. Ghostface, obviously one of the most iconic slashers in all of horror history. The problem is he just didn't come out with anything. It was just him. It was just him as a chapter, and when he came out, he was garbage. And funny thing is, he still is very bad. He was very buggy. His power was not that good. He got out of his power instantly by survivors. He was just not good, and he wasn't fun to play with. He's gotten buffed over time, and he still is getting buffed over time, which is very funny. But I'm gonna have to put him there for now, definitely. I'll probably move him up if I'm. We're gonna have to see though. Stranger Things. Okay. Okay, no bias or anything. I'm gonna put this. Ooh, yeah, that's rough. I'm gonna put this here. I'm gonna put that there for now. It will probably go top 5 if I'm thinking about it. Stranger Things is an amazing chapter. That chapter when it dropped brought so many people into the game. It helped the game so much grow into what it is today. And it brought 2 new survivors, including legendary skins for them. It brought the Demogorgon and skins for him. It brought a map that people hate, but you can't deny that it is aesthetically cool. And it opened the doors for Stranger Things Part 2, which is what we'll get to in the future. But overall, it added so much content into the game. I'm gonna have to put it here, dude. It added so much into the game. I'm not the biggest fan of Stranger Things. I think it's a cool series. But when it comes to like how much it elevated the game, it was massive. Like there was nothing that competed with it. Like it was crazy. Cursed Legacy, in my opinion, is an A tier chapter. Cursed Legacy is sick, and definitely came out with one of my favorite killers in Dead by Daylight. Yui, an amazing survivor, cool perks. Oni, cool killer, not super OP, perfectly balanced, honestly. Cool perks. It added Sanctum of Wrath. I'm pretty sure came out with him. Sick. Overall, solid chapter all around, dude. I'm gonna have to put it there. Chains of Hate. Again, another slapper, dude. Deathslinger, cool, unique killer. Cool, unique range killer that we haven't seen before. Dead Dog Saloon is a pretty cool map, design-wise and looks-wise. I'm pretty sure this chapter came out with Zarina, if I'm not mistaken, who's another cool, respectable survivor. And yeah, no, it added a good amount of content to the game too. Overall, just a good chapter to have in the game. Silent Hill. That's a top 3 chapter in my book. When I saw they were adding Silent Hill into the game, I lost my shit. I was like, no fucking way. This is so fucking cool. Cheryl Mason, obviously iconic from the games. Pyramid Head, iconic. Who else would they go with besides like the nurse? Just everything about this. Midwich Elementary School, sick. You know, everything about this chapter is cool. Midwich has got to be the coolest. Obviously, the design is questionable, like the layout. But when it comes to looks, when it comes to just the aura of the map, it's sick. And the perks on both sides, from Killer and Survivor, are both respectable and unique. They're not the best, but they are unique and cool design-wise. So I'm gonna have to put that there. Descent Beyond. Oh god, okay. People are gonna get pissed at me, but I'm gonna have to put this B. The reason I have to put this B, I don't remember if this came with its own map. But it came with Felix, who was a decent survivor, I guess. And it came with the Blight, who I am not the biggest fan of. Yeah, I know what you guys are gonna say. Oh, I thought you were a Killer player. I thought you liked the Blight. Not really. I think he's cool. I think he's annoying, especially a super good P100 one. But overall, I can't deny it did add a decent amount of content to the game. So I'm gonna have to put that there. It's decent. Binding of Kin. Oof, this is gonna be a hot take for me, dude. I just don't think this chapter is that good, man. I really don't. I'm gonna have to put the. You know, I'm gonna put this. I'm gonna do that. I don't think it's so bad. You know, I'm gonna put that bad, dude. No, I'm gonna put that D. It's borderline there, dude. The twins are just not. They're just not a good designed killer at all. I kind of wish they would get removed at this point. Obviously, looks-wise, they're pretty cool. They're pretty creepy. I just don't like the gameplay of them. I think Elodie is the only reason that this chapter is in D tier. I don't think this came with any new map. You know, they were trying something though with the killers. They were trying. They were trying to get the right balance. They were trying to get a unique playstyle. Overall, it just kind of fell flat. I'm just not the biggest fan of this chapter at all. And I just think the redeeming qualities of this chapter is just Elodie. Because Elodie is a cool survivor. That doesn't get played enough in my opinion. All kill. Okay, now we're talking. All kill, I would have to put top of B. The only reason it doesn't go A is because it didn't really... I don't think it really came with its own map or anything. But Yunjin is an amazing survivor. Cool addition to the game. And Trickster, even though he can be annoying sometimes, he's cool. I used to shit on him when this chapter came out because I was like, he looks goofy. I don't think he's cool at all. I used to say that. But over time, you know, when I play matches as him, like on stream, and obviously with this new all-kill chapter that just came out too, I found respect for him. I think he's a cool killer. He's a cool addition to the game. And overall, it's a pretty decent chapter. I think he's fun to play. I'm gonna put that B. Oh, boy. I'm not being biased. I do play Nemesis, though. Resident Evil. Resident Evil. And we'll order top 5 once we're done with everything. But Resident Evil, man. Such a good addition to the game. Like, it's not even close, man. It is such a good addition to the game. It added Nemesis, who's a cool killer. Iconic. It added Leon. It added Jill. I'm pretty sure this added Carlos. This added Chris. So much content. It added RPD. Obviously, RPD used to be one map as a whole. But it went back to RPD, you know, RPD East and West over time. Overall, there's just so much content that they added to this. And I don't really think it gets talked enough, man. People are like, oh my god, the Resident Evil chapter with Wesker was sick. You know, obviously that chapter is amazing too, because it came with Ada, it came with Rebecca, it came with Wesker. But you gotta pay props to the one that started it all, you know? Resident Evil and Nemesis, bro, such a fire edition. Pretty sick. Hellraiser. This is gonna hurt my heart, man. You know, we gotta put chapters in so bad, man. I gotta put it down here. I gotta put that down here, bro. I'm gonna put Hellraiser in D. The reason I say why is because obviously people are gonna say, why do you put Leatherface in D? Why do you put Leatherface in that chapter? Or why do you put Leatherface in the tier below? And why do you put Pinhead up there? The reason why is because Pinhead, when he came out, was actually playable. Was he not that good? I mean, he was pretty decent. His chains were a little buggy, of course, when he came out, but it got better over time, and he was fun. Like it was an actual fun killer. Bubba, when he came out, was borderline unplayable. against like a good survivor. he was not good at all. But Pinhead definitely was cool, and over time they definitely got Clive Barker or whoever voices Pinhead in the original series to voice him in this game. And I gotta pay credit where credit's due, man, because that's sick. I definitely gotta put him there for now. Ah, dude, that's tough. I'm gonna move Leatherface up here. Yeah, I'm gonna do that. All right, Hour of the Witch. Actually, yeah, no, I'm putting Bubba back there. Hour of the Witch, dude. Low key. I'm gonna put that C. I know I might get shit for that, but the reason I put that there, it's not gonna go any higher. I put that there because it added a new playstyle, it added new content into the game. It added a brand new system that was problematic forever in Dead by Daylight history. You know, it added freaking boons to the game. This is the first implication of boons. Boon Circle of Healing, Boon Shadow Step. And yeah, Boon Circle of Healing was problematic forever. I think it got nerfed a couple years ago. Obviously, it got put in its place for good. It's still decent to this day. It's just not as broken as it once was. So, and he came out with Michaela too. I think Michaela is a pretty cool survivor overall. And overall, pretty respectable solo chapter. This, in my opinion, might be the best solo survivor chapter in the game. In my opinion. Yeah, no, I'll put that there. I'll put that there. It's decent. Portrait of a Murder. I think Portrait of a Murder is a B tier chapter. And the reason I say that is because the map that it came out with is unique, but it sucks. Eyrie of Crows was a terrible map. And it still kind of is a terrible map. Obviously, it's a lot better now because they got rid of a lot of problematic windows and palettes that were on the map, but I think the only cool thing about this chapter was Artist. And this was she brought in a lot of good perks, a lot of problematic perks that were used in the future. Like Pain Res, she brought the Grim Embrace, you know? Like a lot of super good killer perks were added in this chapter. And overall, she's a pretty good killer herself. The survivor, Jonah Vasquez, in my opinion, pretty forgettable. I don't think I've seen one in solo queue ever. That's a lie. I've seen like one every like 2 months, but they don't exist. His perks are really not that good besides like Overcome. But overall, I'm gonna have to put that there. Sadako Rising. This really does pain me. This chapter had potential to be very freaking cool. But damn, it definitely did fall short. Honestly, I'm gonna move Portrait of Murder up. I'm gonna move Sadako Rising to B. Sadako, obviously from the ring, sick. Yuichi, underrated survivor. I really wish he got more love. Here, we're gonna do this. We're gonna make some edits. I'm gonna move that there. I'm gonna move Sadako Rising to there. Again, she didn't really come with her own place. She didn't really come with her own realm. Yuichi, cool survivor overall. I like that they kept Yuichi from the actual ring, like the movie. And they made him an adult in this, which is a smart way of bringing him into the realm. But overall, the chapter itself was just kind of a nothing burger, because Sadako herself was a little weak, and then she was strong, and then she was weak. It's just a roller coaster of balance. And in my opinion, I don't even think she's that fun to play. I wish she was, because she's just Teleport Simulator 101. Like, that's all she does. And it's kind of sad. Roots of Dread. In my opinion, this is a C tier chapter. This chapter is borderline mid. Borderline mid. I'm gonna move Bill down to B2. Yeah. This chapter, Hattie, cool survivor, I guess. Nobody plays her. Kind of forgettable in a way. The Dredge is a cool designed killer. He has some of the best skins in the game, but he kind of sucks, and he's kind of not really fun to play. And the map, Garden of Joy, very problematic. It is not a fun map at all. There's just a lot of duds in this chapter, which is why I can't really move it higher. Project W. I can't deny that this is definitely up there, man. We're gonna put Project W right there, and then we're gonna put Forged in Fire in C tier. So Project W, definitely one of the better chapters in the game. It brought Wesker, who's a very cool killer. Ada Wong, Rebecca. It split RPD into East and West, I'm pretty sure, this chapter. Overall, solid chapter, deserves A. Forged in Fire. I don't like the Knight. I think he has cool cosmetics, but boring gameplay. I think the map is ugly. The map is also not fun to fight on. Obviously, did it add content into the game? Yes, but the content wasn't that good. I think the only cool thing about this chapter is Vittorio. Vittorio is a cool survivor, and I really wish more people played him. Tools of Torment. This chapter is ass. Whoever came up with this shit deserves to be fired. Honestly, I'm gonna make its own freaking tier. Add a row below. Like, Jesus. Fire. Who made this? You know what? We're gonna put fire this person. I don't know why it's fucking... We're just gonna put fire. You know what? Nah. Let go of this employee. There you go. We're gonna do that. We're gonna put let go of this employee. How about that? Because, like, holy shit, dude. This chapter is so buns. Skull Merchant, problematic as hell. Nerfed her to the ground. She's garbage now. Not even worth playing. Her perks are okay. I mean, they're so boring. They changed the Macmillan estate, which is, like, the only cool thing. I'm pretty sure they changed... Oh, I forgot the name of the map. I think it's, like, Shelter Woods? Is that what it's called? I think it's called Shelter Woods. Obviously, that's the only cool thing about this chapter. Besides that, or I guess Renato and Toledo are kind of cool. But still, let go. This chapter's so ass. This chapter is so buns. I think the only cool thing is Renato and Toledo. So you know what? I'm gonna put that here. I'm gonna put that here. Maybe I was wrong. Because there is a chapter I have for this. And we're gonna put that right there. I know we skipped the Walking Dead chapter. That has got to be the worst chapter in Dead by Daylight history. And I'll get to it after we rank End Transmission. End Transmission, okay, is a B tier chapter. It is a B tier chapter. Low key, I'm gonna give it A tier. And we're gonna move Spirit down to B. Okay. We're gonna move that, and we're gonna move Spirit down to B. Okay. So, End Transmission. End Transmission was the anniversary chapter, I'm pretty sure. It brought the Singularity, who's a pretty cool killer. He is annoying sometimes, but it's fine. His perks are pretty unique, kind of cool. Gabriel is a cool survivor. A lot of cool cosmetics. It's a cool futuristic survivor too. Toba Landing, it's whatever. Obviously, it's unique. I don't like getting it every single match, but I can't lie, it is a unique map. Overall, a lot of good content into the game. And I gotta respect them for that. Low key. I'm gonna put that B. So back to The Walking Dead. This Walking Dead chapter is so bad. It's literally terrible, dude. They added 2 survivors. I'm pretty sure they don't even got the voice actors voicing them. Michonne voice lines were bugged for like a couple weeks on release. It added a new map that came with it, or I guess a new map that's a part of a realm, I'm pretty sure, called the Fallen Refuge, which is the ugliest map in the game with a green tint that they put over. It is the worst map in the game, one of the worst. And the content that just came with it is just buns. I think the only plus side about this chapter was that they added Jim, who is a bug. And if you know, you know, man. If you know, you know. Nicolas Cage, probably one of the cooler Survivor chapters, I can't even lie. He's fire. I gotta give credit where credit's due. Nicolas Cage, iconic actor. Cool to have him in the game. Alien. This was kind of big for Dead by Daylight, but I gotta give this a B. It came with Nostromo, Ellen, the Xenomorph, all cool content. Nostromo's kind of cool. It's kind of annoying though to play on sometimes. And then Alien is decent too. I kind of wish he did something else though, because the tail attack is obviously cool. It's iconic. It's kind of boring though, in my opinion. Chucky. Honestly, this is gonna go high B, dude. I think Chucky, they took a risk on making a killer a foot tall and making him third person, and I think they succeeded because nobody thought he would ever come to the game because of his height, but they made it work, man. And I gotta give credit where credit's due. Obviously, he's a solo killer chapter, so I know people are gonna be like, "Why'd you put him that high if he's solo killer?" He was unique for the time. Like, he was very unique, and they made it work. So I really do gotta give credit where credit's due, man. Alan Wake. Dear God. Low key. I'm gonna put this chapter D. It's just, I don't know. When this chapter came out, I was just not impressed. It was boring. Like, obviously, if you're a big Alan Wake fan, sure, you're gonna be happy, but like, I don't know. I think Alan Wake's cool. I just think it was a boring chapter overall. Her and the other girl, like, nobody really plays, really. So, it was kind of just a big nothing burger. I definitely do think Ash was a more popular chapter. Bill definitely was. And, yeah. Alright. Low-key, this is the best chapter. This is one of the best chapters in the game. Hands down. Sick. All Things Wicked pretty much revived the game. Because you know what we got before All Things Wicked? We got... Let's see what we got, if I remember correctly. I'm pretty sure we got Knight, Skull Merchant, Singularity. I'm pretty sure those were before. Those were before All Things Wicked. It was a rough time for Dead by Daylight, man. And then the Knight in Shining Armor comes out, and we get Sable Ward, the Unknown, Greenville Square, fresh new content with cool, unique perks. Gotta go top 5, man. Dungeons and Dragons. Low-key, A-tier chapter. I think this chapter is sick and doesn't get talked enough about, man. The Lich, cool killer. The survivors are cool. It comes with a girl and a dude that you can switch between. The map is cool, but the map does kind of suck. I can't lie. Which is why I can't really put it higher. Tomb Raider. Probably one of the cooler survivor chapters. Sick. Lara Croft as a survivor? Who doesn't want that, bro? Her perks, finesse, amazing. And overall, cool solo survivor chapter that was added into the game. I'm not the biggest fan of solo survivors, but I gotta give credit where credit's due, man. It's sick. Castlevania. I gotta put Castlevania high A tier. And the reason I say that... Here, let's do that. I gotta put Castlevania high A tier. Yeah, look, we can zoom in a little bit more. Castlevania was sick. Dracula's a cool addition to the game. It came with Alucard, Trevor Belmont. Or Alucard was the legendary skin. All the skins for survivors, sick. The only downside about this, I wish they would have made his castle his own map, instead of just in the background of some maps. That's my only critique about this chapter. Doom Course. Low-key, this is getting a C. This is getting a C. And the reason I say C is because I'm gonna put Sparks of Madness above it. I say C because the killer was kind of forgettable on release. Nobody played her at all. It's another killer where I kind of wish she got her own map, but they kind of just refused to do, which is unfortunate. But besides that, she's a cool killer. I don't really mind her. I just can't really put her above, because she's just kind of just a nothing burger of a chapter, man. It kind of was, but that's just my opinion. All right, I might get hate on this, low key. I might get hate on this low key, but I definitely gotta put the Ghoul chapter. I gotta put this in A. I gotta put this in high B tier. I'm gonna put this right here. The reason I say why, I'm not gonna put a D, and I'm not gonna put it super high A. It's the first time. It's the first anime chapter that has ever been in the game, not collab. I'm talking about chapter, and I think overall, I know he's a hated killer. I know people hate fighting him, but design-wise, he's kind of cool. Is he buggy? Of course he is. Yeah, that's just Dead by Daylight Spaghetti Code talking, bro. But he is a cool addition into the game, and I'm shocked they made it work, because normally anime licenses are kind of hard to implement into the game. But they definitely made this one work. But because it was only him, and I'm pretty sure you got a legendary skin. Obviously, there was cosmetics and skins for survivors as well. I gotta put him B tier. I can't put him any higher. Arella. I'm gonna keep it a buck, dude. It's not a good chapter. I'm not gonna put so bad because I'm being mean. I'm gonna put bad. It's not a good chapter. It's really not a good chapter. It only came with her. No offense to the Arella players, she's just a very forgettable survivor, in my opinion. Her perks didn't really innovate the game much, or bring new spice into the game. They were just healing perks. Nothing really spicy or exciting really in this chapter. I remember when this chapter got released, they tried to push this chapter so much, saying, "Oh, this is an amazing chapter. You should go play this." It was just kind of boring. Nothing really on the killer side to do. Even as a survivor, she's not Lara Croft. She's not Nicolas Cage. Nothing really exciting. So I gotta put it in bad, because it really was not a good chapter. Springtrap. Low key. This is probably the 6th best chapter in the game. Sue me. The reason why is because it came with Freddy Fazbear's Pizza as a map. I get it, it's a part of Greenville, but it is unique. Springtrap has his own unique, I guess, power. He's got the security doors, which is cool. He's got the axe, which is cool. They could have given him something cooler. They have a jump scare mechanic where if you pull the axe out of someone, you jump scare them. Overall, pretty solid chapter, and people have wanted Five Nights at Freddy's forever. So, I gotta put it up there, man. Krassu. Oh, Brody. Oh, Brody. I mean, I'll probably put this A tier. I do not like fighting the Krassu at all. But I can't deny, she is a cool killer. Cool, scary killer. She came with V. Buyusak, or whatever her name is, who is a cool survivor as well. They both have unique perks. Overall, decent chapter added to the game. Stranger Things Part 2. Stranger Things Part 2. I'm gonna have to put that high A tier as well. Amazing addition into the game. They added Dustin, they added 11, they added a bunch of other legendary skins like Robin, they added Eddie, they added Vecna, who's a pretty fun killer to play. They added Hawkins back into the game with this. A lot of good content added, so I'm gonna have to put it A tier. And then last but not least, we got Trickster's Delusion. I'm gonna have to give this a solid B tier. And the reason why is because it didn't really come with anything besides a Trickster rework. Obviously, Trickster got his own legendary skin. And it did come with Trickster's own map, which is very cool, aesthetically wise. Gameplay wise, not so much. And yeah, without further ado, let me zoom out real quick. That's my tier list, gang. That is the tier list, bro. If you guys have any questions or critiques, definitely put them down in the channel, or definitely put them down in the comment section. Remember, this is my opinion, so don't be too mean in the comments. This is just my favorite chapters and how much I think they brought to the game. How good they were for Dead by Daylight as a whole. If they added anything cool, unique, new, were they fun to... Did they add fun stuff? Just stuff like that, man. But without further ado, thank you guys all so much for watching. Like I said, I do stream on Twitch. The link will be in the About section below. And if you guys wouldn't mind hitting a like on the video and pressing that subscribe button, we're trying to reach our goal of 100 subscribers. And I will see you guys on the next one, man. Peace out.